Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving into some really fascinating source material that outlines a brilliant strategy for content creators, taking a passive, maybe even forgotten video library and transforming it into an active, breathing digital newsroom. You know, if you pour your heart and countless hours into creating video content, you probably have an absolute goldmine of an archive just sitting there on a hard drive. So let's unpack exactly how this transformation happens and how it can completely redefine your reach.
So, do you want your own newspaper from your video library? I mean, it sounds almost like a trick question, right? But seriously, think about your audience and your reach for just a second. You spend days, maybe weeks, researching, filming, and editing. But what happens after that initial algorithmic spike on social media? Your content kind of just fades into the background. The concept we're exploring today asks you to totally reimagine that content. What if all those brilliant ideas you've already recorded could be repurposed instantly to reach an entirely new audience, but in a completely different format?
To understand why this works, we really have to look at the fascinating contrast between these two mediums. Video is, by its very nature, linear. It demands a viewer's full, undivided commitment right from the jump. Before someone even knows if your argument is truly worth their time, they have to commit to watching it play out. But compare that to a traditional newspaper format. Newspapers literally solved this discoverability problem over a century ago. They are highly scannable, super fast to navigate, and they use a clear hierarchical structure. You look at a headline, you skim a column, and you keep moving quickly until something catches your eye. Only then do you actually dive in deep.
And here is the really painful truth about traditional video creation. Because of that linear demand for a viewer's time, most of your audience will absolutely never reach your best arguments and analysis. Seriously, let that sink in for a minute. If your absolute best, most profound point is made at minute 42 of an hour-long recording, the impatient viewer who clicked away at minute 5, they miss it entirely. Your absolute best ideas are essentially locked away in a vault, completely unseen by the vast majority of your potential audience.
Okay, so this brings us to a really interesting behavioral science concept called the newspaper scanning model. It's a deeply ingrained human habit. We're all guilty of it. We scan a headline, skim the opening line, and make a rapid subconscious decision to either read on or just move away. A well-structured text format activates this exact instinct perfectly. It's a format built specifically for impatient audiences who want to quickly vet information before handing over their precious attention span.
3 seconds. Literally, that is all it takes for a human brain to decide if an article is worth reading. Think about the sheer efficiency of that. In the time it takes a viewer to load up a streaming platform, sit through a pre-roll ad, and finally press play on just one of your videos, a reader utilizing that newspaper scanning model can evaluate 10 different episodes that have been structured as articles. It is a massive, structural upgrade in how quickly your audience can discover the value you're providing.
So how does this build into a practical solution? Well, the sources note that sessions become stories by putting the most important arguments first. A recorded debate or a long-form interview is obviously a fantastic source of raw ideas, but remember, it was designed to be experienced chronologically, live. Taking an editorial approach completely flips the script. It takes that raw session and restructures it so that the absolute most important argument, that brilliant insight hidden deep, deep in the recording, is placed right at the very top of the story where it absolutely cannot be missed.
To do this, the sources outline a systematic editorial pipeline, specifically used by the platform Streamed.News. Step 1. The pipeline identifies a substantive topic within your video. Step 2. It renders that specific topic into a standalone article. We are talking a really punchy headline, 2 sharp paragraphs of analysis, and a direct quote to anchor the whole thing. And then step 3, which is honestly the real magic trick here, it links directly back to the exact timestamp of the source video. It literally turns a passing segment of your video into a polished, standalone piece of journalism.
So instead of asking your audience to scrub endlessly through a 47-minute video to find the good part, the article simply says, jump to 23:14 where the guest explains the key argument. It's brilliant. Your readers can evaluate the short written piece in maybe 2 minutes, and if they're hooked by the premise, boom, they are transported instantly to the precise moment that matters. No scrubbing through timelines and zero frustration for the user.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. A natural worry here is whether this will actually sound authentic. You might be asking, will these articles sound like robotic, generic filler? Well, the key to this pipeline is that it's designed specifically to learn from your content. It picks up your unique vocabulary, it matches your natural speaking cadence, and it even adopts your specific style of framing an argument. So the final output doesn't sound like a generic summary at all. It reads exactly like you, just translated seamlessly into text.
Once you make this shift, the sources highlight some massive strategic advantages. First off, you immediately reach readers who simply do not watch video, and trust me, that is a massive slice of the internet. Second, your ideas finally become searchable on Google. Videos are notoriously hard for search engines to index deeply, but written articles? That is absolute SEO gold. You're suddenly serving two entirely different audiences with just one recording. And perhaps most importantly for your long-term business, you retain full ownership of your reader data. No more social media algorithms standing between you and your community.
All right, let's talk about the monetization side of things, because this is where it gets really exciting. Once you build an engaged reading audience, you unlock the exact same lucrative sponsorship models that fund major traditional publishers. We're talking highly relevant section sponsorships, direct-to-inbox newsletter placements, sponsored articles that rank on Google, and predictable fixed-presence deals. Your video library literally becomes the foundation for an independent digital publishing business.
And to make all that monetization totally seamless, the source material notes that the platform includes built-in subscriber management, fully supporting both free and paid tiers. This means your new newsroom acts as a fully functional newsletter system right out of the box. Every new article can go directly into your subscribers' inboxes. You are transforming an existing content library into an independent revenue stream, and the system handles the entire distribution flow for you.
Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. I know exactly what you might be thinking, because it's the most common anxiety creators have when they hear about repurposing. Wait, is this going to compete with my primary channel? Will it cannibalize my video views? The source material takes this head-on with a very confident, myth-busting tone. The answer is a massive, resounding no. In fact, it's designed to do the exact opposite.
The sources counter this fear with what they call the editorial shop window. Remember how we said that every single article links directly to the exact timestamp in your video? This means readers who discover you through a quick Google search or a text-based social post now have a direct, completely frictionless path right back to your channel. Your news site isn't some alternative that replaces your video, it acts as a highly optimized shop window. It feeds highly qualified, genuinely interested viewers directly into the most engaging moments of your video content.
And the best part? Setting this up is practically frictionless. It reinforces your existing brand via a subdomain like news.yourdomain.com. It's a completely managed service, meaning there is zero extra work required from you. None. You just keep recording videos exactly as you do today. Amazingly, they process your entire backlog of older videos first to give them new life, and then your brand new videos are converted automatically the moment you hit publish.
But what really stands out in the documentation is the turnaround time. Just 1 week. Think about that. If you're planning to radically improve your web presence, you don't have to wait months for web development. The service can take a full 100 video library, convert it into text, build the site, and have your editorial newspaper live in just 7 days. Your new text-based newsroom can literally be up and running, building readers and capturing Google search traffic before you even finish planning your next video shoot. If you're wondering about the barrier to entry, it is designed to be remarkably low risk. They actually offer a free custom demo built using a selection of your own videos with absolutely no commitment or installation required on your end. You get to see your own publication working before anything else happens.
Which brings us to this incredibly powerful final thought from the source material. Your newspaper is already written. We just need to publish it. I really want you to think about that. All the deep research, the brilliant arguments, the careful analysis, you have already done the hard work. It's literally sitting right there in your archive, waiting to be unleashed. What if the only thing standing between your best ideas and thousands of new readers is simply changing the format? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I want you to look at your own hard drives right now. How many hidden headlines are currently locked away in your archives?